Hey everyone. In these volatile times, a lot has been changing very, very quickly over the past couple of weeks, and many people are really worried about what the coronavirus means for their personal finances. Therefore, I decided to make this quick short video to discuss the possible scenarios that the economy may be heading into and what you can do to protect yourself and your personal finances. So let's first touch on how bad the corona crisis really is and what this really means for you and how long it may last. Now, clearly no one really knows the answer to this question, and there are various competing hypotheses on this, ranging from a really quick rebound to markets versus a more severe, longer-lasting recession for the world economy. Now, some analysts believe that this will be more like the 9/11 sort of scenario where we had a quick, sharp drop in the markets with a very fast rebound and regression to the mean. With more and more data coming to light recently, it seems to be the least likely outcome, especially as a lot of industries are already severely hit by supply chain shortages, by the travel bans and the curfews. Also, if we're looking at the fact that most major governments have announced very large stimulus packages and cut interest rates to boost the economy, it certainly feels like the corona crisis will cause a longer-term recession and a slower regression to the mean. Now, as we're heading into recession, I think that there are various things that you can do to protect your finances and prepare yourself. First and foremost, liquidity is key. So having cash on hand will be very beneficial in turbulent times like these. This is where having a 3 to 6 month emergency fund will be very beneficial to giving you peace of mind, especially in a retractionary recession period if you may lose your job. We've already seen increased layoffs in the hospitality, entertainment, gastronomy industries, but as we're heading into recession, it is very, very likely that most industries will see some sort of layoffs. So even if you think that your job is super secure, it will give you peace of mind if you have an emergency buffer. Especially for self-employed people and gig economy workers, it may take a while for you to find a new job. Now, if you don't have any savings at the moment and you do not have an emergency fund, don't panic. Instead, I would advise you to diligently analyze your current financial situation and try and save as much money as you can over the coming weeks and months to create a small buffer for yourself. In addition, the UK government has also just announced that they will support consumers who have lost their jobs, and they will also offer payment holidays on mortgages and personal loans. So self-employed people can now apply for universal credit at the same rate as statutory sick pay. So at the moment, this is around £94 per week for a period of up to 28 weeks. The government has also said that for self-employed people, they have deferred the self-assessment tax payments from June this year to January 2021 to give you additional flexibility. If you have a mortgage and you think that you're going to be struggling with repayments as a result of the coronavirus, maybe because you've lost your job or because you or a relative of yours have fallen ill, you can also contact your mortgage provider or lender to arrange a payment holiday for up to 3 months. What will happen then is that in 3 months' time, they will assess your personal circumstances and try and decide how to make up for the missed payments. This can be by either extending your loan term or by increasing your future monthly repayments. For renters, the UK government has also announced a £1 billion worth stimulus package to make sure that the local housing allowance will cover up to 30% of your rental payments of market rent. Now, if you're a renter and you also think that you're going to be struggling to meet your rental payments every month, I would strongly advise you to just speak to your landlord directly about the situation, as your landlord themselves may be able to apply for a mortgage payment holiday or may be able to come up with a different kind of deferred payment plan for you in these difficult times. Now, I would strongly advise you to make use of all of these government initiatives first and foremost before considering taking out additional credits to help you cope with the coronavirus crisis. If you really need to take out a new financial product like a credit card or a loan to make ends meet during this turbulent time, then definitely make sure that you can afford the repayments on this new credit product. What also may help is that if you have an existing credit card balance at the moment, maybe look at whether you can switch it onto a lower interest rate paying credit card, which may reduce your monthly repayments. If you're a small business owner, there are additional options for you to take to stay on top of your finances during these turbulent times. As of last week, you can now apply for the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme, which means you go to the HMRC and you can apply for grants of up to 80% of your employees' salaries with a maximum of up to £2,500 per month. This will help you keep your permanent staff on payroll even if you can't afford to pay them. This scheme will be open for a period of 3 months initially, and it may be extended for longer. In addition, no business has to pay any VAT from now until the middle of June. And lastly, you can also get a loan from the Coronavirus Business Interruption Scheme loan, which the government has set up to lend to small and medium-sized businesses as well as sole traders for a period of up to 12 months to help you if you're in need of cash flow. So these are some of the first steps that I think anyone should be taking, whether you're an individual or a small business owner, to help you cope with the corona crisis. Lastly, if you happen to have cash on hand and you are considering buying into the stock market dip that we're seeing at the moment, given that currently most indices are between 30 and 40% down versus their February highs, I would strongly advise you to just invest into passive index trackers or exchange traded funds rather than stock picking individual companies. This is because while it may seem that certain companies are at a massive discount to what they were trading at previously, for example, if you look at some of the cruise ship companies, they are more than 50% down versus their previous highs. Not every single company will come back from this crisis, and there will be companies that will have to file for bankruptcy as a result. So it is much less risky to just invest into passive index tracking funds, especially if you're like me and you fundamentally believe that large world economies will rebound in the long term. So these are my main tips around how to stay on top of your personal finances during the corona crisis. I hope this was helpful to you. Please let me know any other questions or comments you have on this, and stay safe and keep indoors, everyone. Bye.